What is going on, guys? It's Rob from Heroes Avenue, and we have some incredible things to talk about on the DC and MCU side of things. We're going to be talking about Colin Farrell getting a spin-off from the Batman, Charlie Cox coming back to the MCU as Daredevil, and of course, we have a win for Zack Snyder's Justice League, and this one is even sweeter because of the context. We'll talk about that later, but first, please do like the video, subscribe to the channel if you want more news like this. And with that being said, let's get into the first topic, and it has to do with the Penguin getting his own spin-off show on HBO Max. And if you've seen the Batman trailers, Colin Farrell looks incredible as the Penguin. Not only just looking at him because of what the trailer showed us, but when is Colin Farrell not great, right? So let's just go ahead and get into the story right here. It says, and we're on Variety. I'm not going to read the whole thing to you. I'm going to see what maybe we can pull out of it. It says Colin Farrell's to reprise his role as the Penguin in the Batman spin-off series for HBO Max, and it's exclusive. Colin Farrell is officially signed to star and executive produce a series spin-off of the Batman in which he would play the Penguin. Once he would again play the Penguin. So it looks like the Penguin's going to be coming out of this one alive, unless it's an origin story. We've been seeming to get a lot of those lately, but let's see if there's anything useful up there. It just talks about the producers and everything. Let's go into this. So Colin Farrell, it talks about his kind of his resume, and he has an extensive resume, not just on the TV side of things and recently, but if you just look past, like in the past decade, what he's been in, he has a great resume. So it says right here, the Penguin, aka Oswald Cobblepot, is one of the most famous members of the Batman Rogues Gallery, recognizable by his top hat, monocle, and a wide variety of deadly umbrellas. On the live action side, the character has previously been played by actors like Burgess Meredith, Danny DeVito, and Robin Lord Taylor. Should the Penguin show go forward, it would be the second spin-off series from the Batman at HBO Max. The streamer has already ordered a drama set within the Gotham Police Department, with Joe Barton attached as showrunner. It's part of Warner Media's attempt to launch a new interconnected Batman universe across all of its platforms. There are several other live-action DC shows in the works at HBO Max, including the Suicide Squad spin-off Peacemaker, starring John Cena, a Green Lantern series from Greg Berlanti, and Justice League Dark series from J.J. Abrams, among several others. Variety exclusively reported in November that a pilot based on the DC characters Dead Boy Detectives and had set its entire main cast and begun production. So there you have it. There's a little bit more on what HBO Max is working with, and of course we knew that HBO and Warner Brothers wants to grow this Batman universe. I mean, if you're gonna have someone like Matt Reeves put together a universe that's going to include all of these rogues galleries, all of Batman's rogues galleries, essentially, it feels like that in this first movie. We know that they're going to take the opportunity to kind of spin off of that and flesh out the universe a little bit more. I really do like that idea. And Walter Hamada, I know he's an enemy of the fans right now, or of a majority of the fans at least, but he has said as much. He said, with every project we greenlight, we look to see what kind of spin-offs we can do from it. Now, the first one we got acknowledged in this article is Peacemaker. Of course, I'm not incredibly excited about the Peacemaker, but I'm definitely going to watch it. A little intrigued. I know it gets a lot of hate because, it admittedly leaves fans of Zack Snyder's work a little bit salty because it feels like we got his trilogy of movies canceled, and what we get as a result of that is, kind of Suicide Squad, which was pretty good. It was okay. Rewatchability wise, I don't enjoy it as much the more I watch it, but I did really enjoy it when I first saw it. But Peacemaker is not a character that I'm super interested to see. Gotta admit, the teaser was okay. It wasn't bad, but it didn't blow me away. But I'm excited to see if my expectations are blown out of the water, because if I go in there with a little bit lowered expectations, maybe I'll really enjoy it. But with this one right here, it's a little bit more intriguing to me just because it's coming out of the Matt Reeves universe, not really the DCEU, but it's something that is really intriguing because of Colin Farrell himself. I really enjoy this actor, like I mentioned before. The most recent thing I've seen him in is the Guy Ritchie movie. I forget what it's called. The last Guy Ritchie movie, really great. And again, Colin Farrell. Look at his work in the past decade, and it kind of speaks for itself. And I'm really intrigued as to if they're going to go for an origin story with the Penguin, or if it picks up maybe where the Batman leaves off. So there's a lot of ways they can go with this, I imagine. But one of the things I'm really curious about is how this Penguin's going to look. Are they going to bring him and make him feel like the Penguin that we know and love from the comics? Really hard to do and translate that. But if you look at him right here, it's not hard to see how they might be able to give him some of the more distinguished features of the Penguin. Again, that's just some of the things that excite me right now. When we hear more about it, of course, we'll report in. But the big thing is, what do you guys think about this news? Because I think it's pretty cool. It's kind of weird, the direction. It doesn't seem planned in terms of, the announcement strategy, because when you look at the MCU side of things, you kind of notice they're very strategic with how they go about announcing certain projects. It seems to flow very well. With the DC side of things, it looks like they're just throwing things at us and seeing what sticks. And this is probably one of those things that's stuck on the wall because, hey, we got a talented guy in Colin Farrell. Matt Reeves is heading this incredible project. Why not give him another show? And I'm not opposed to it. I'm excited. So I got HBO Max, put more content on there from DC. I love it. So tell me what you guys think in the comments down below. Let's move on to the second topic, and it has to do with Daredevil. This is one of those things that really gets me pumped because of the fact that the Netflix Marvel shows have been incredibly satisfying, more so than watching the MCU movies, in my opinion. Again, not everything is great. Iron Fist was not that great. Some really good stuff here and there, but Luke Cage, some really good stuff here and there. Jessica Jones, first season, loved it. Second season, enjoyed it. But Daredevil is the constant character that I loved coming out of the Netflix MCU side of things, and they always referenced the MCU's presence, but they were never officially interconnected. But that's seemingly changing now, and we all knew that. Charlie Cox is definitely showing up in Spider-Man No Way Home. We all knew that. There's like leaked pictures if you want to check them out. But I'm on Cinema Blend here, and let's go ahead and see what Kevin Feige had to say on it. If you were to see Daredevil in upcoming things, Charlie Cox, yes, would be the actor playing Daredevil. Where we see that and how we see that, when we see that, remains to be seen. First of all, again, I just mentioned, we all know he's going to be in Spider-Man No Way Home. It's one of the worst kept secrets. And again, I don't know, but I feel like I've seen some leaked footage. Leaked images come out, and it seems like that's the case, and it would only make sense. So I'm excited for this. Daredevil, the Netflix shows, if you haven't checked it out, even if you're not the biggest, I know our followers here are mainly DC fans. Just, I know from the likes, the videos, I've seen the analytics from our videos in the past. You guys seem to be big DC fans just like us. But on the MCU side of things, if you check out, give this Daredevil show a watch. It is incredible. And if you watch Hawkeye, this is kind of a spoiler here, so spoiler warning ahead. If you watch Hawkeye on Disney Plus, you know there is a reference to the big bad Daredevil / Spider-Man villain, MCU villain, and that's Kingpin. So Kingpin was hinted at in the last episode. I won't say how or when. Just watch that Hawkeye series. It's a fun little Christmas show. Not the greatest show to come out of the MCU yet. I still think Captain America or Falcon and the Winter Soldier or Loki is still the best. Anyways, let me know what you guys think about Daredevil coming back to the MCU, and do you think he will show up in the Spider-Man movie? Let me know in the comments down below. Lastly, I had to save this one. So other things that came out today, I know a new Black Adam magazine cover came out. I'll talk about that maybe when we get some more stories coming out for Black Adam. But what I wanted to talk about is this right here, because the Variety put up some of the best films, or they put their best films of 2021 list, and it included Zack Snyder's Justice League. We're going to talk about why that's important in just a second, but let's go ahead and take a look at their list. Again, this is from Variety. I haven't read the article, but I just saw this as I was logging in here and saw that they got Spencer number 1, House of Gucci number 2. I'm curious about House of Gucci. I heard mixed reviews on that. Beatles Get Back. I have that on my watch list on Disney. Drive My Car. Haven't heard of it. Cruella, I did not like. I gave up on Cruella like midway through. I wasn't into it. Zola, King Richard, it's still have on my watch list. But number 8 is Zack Snyder's Justice League. So let's go ahead and take a look. It says 22 years into the 21st century, and you're a movie fan. Chances are you spend more time than you bargain for watching lavishly scaled comic book franchise action films. Those CGI spectacles that are good, bad, or indifferent, and seldom very much more. But Zack Snyder restoring his 4-hour cut of DC origin story that got boulderized and Whedonized by Warner Brothers creates superhero movie with a difference. It's a piece of ominous, glittering, Wagnerian comic book pop-up. Its superhero backstories unfolding with an imaginative fury. Its battles spilling forth with dark grandeur worthy of Tolkien. Not the Lord of the Rings films, but the dream battles Tolkien wrote on the page, all rendered with an incendiary conviction that sweeps you up and won't let go. I love that. I just really love that. And you know who else really loves that? The man Zack Snyder himself right here. So Zack Snyder posted on his Vero account, social media of choice for him. This is cool. And you know why it's even more cool is because this is, okay, shout out to this guy right here, Michael Sackle. I apologize if I mispronounce your name, but you know this is where it started, and this is where we end up with Variety's take. Because we were all, we were all the kind of tinfoil hat guys. The fans just, people would just keep disparaging us and putting us down, but now of course, this whole year has just been vindication for us, and we're chanting release the Snyder. From release the Snyder Cut to restore the Snyderverse. We keep getting hints and indications from Zack that he's willing to come back. We have this merger coming up. Hopefully, we can restore the Snyderverse. This is all so cool. Again, it's partly me just kind of basking in the victory once again, and I'm sure you guys feel the same way. And hopefully we can get some of these characters back in live action. Or, I know it's a long shot, guys. It is a long shot at this point, but I'm still going to keep the hope alive with this, and I'm really excited because, we see these characters moving forward in the Flash movie, Aquaman 2, Wonder Woman 3 is apparently going to be worked on by Patty Jenkins a lot sooner because Patty Jenkins is no longer directing Cleopatra. That's another bit of news that came out today. And, of course, Ben Affleck, and in the Gotham side of things, Batgirl's starting to be filming. So really excited. All this branching off from Zack Snyder. And if DC and Warner Brothers is to learn anything from the MCU, it's to listen to fans. Look what they did with Charlie Cox and the story above. You guys see the success that Marvel has in listening to its fans. So Warner Brothers, I implore you, do the same. This is Rob signing out. Please like the video, subscribe to the channel. Let me know what you think in the comments down below, and I will catch you guys later. Peace.